Howdy. Well, you're probably wondering why the hell you're listening to a fat old man in a pair of overalls in a blacksmith shop. Well, I'll tell you. I get a lot of time to think while I'm out on the road, and I've noticed a few things. We're heading towards some really tough times ahead. And that's caused by some stuff, some factors out there that we're going to go over. Primary driver of the tough times ahead is the wokeness that is absolutely taking over our society. You know, wokeness is feminism, sexual deviance, social justice, redistribution of wealth, collectivism, and intersectionality. Now, these on the surface sound like great ideas. If you've got a big heart, you got to think about all kinds of things. Women are all oppressed, but they're not. They haven't been since 1963. It's against the law to discriminate against anybody in the United States. And that holds true for the rest of the freaking developed world. So that's BS. Sexual deviance out there. We've got people who are doing things to each other, and that's fine. But the problem is they've started targeting children and grooming them to fit into their patterns of sexual deviance. And we have the highest rate of sexual deviance in children that has ever been recorded. 25% of the children today, that's anybody under 18, identify as some part of the alphabet mafia. And this is completely externally driven. They're being groomed for this by our public education system with a whole bunch of teachers, educators, and administrators who believe this is the way to go. Well, it ain't. It's not sustainable. All right? Social justice. There's all kinds of people out there claiming, oh, I'm oppressed, I'm oppressed, I'm oppressed. Well, no, you're not. No, you're not. Everybody wants to be a victim these days. If you can claim some type of a victim status, you get moved into a protected class. So the victim is actually more powerful than the quote unquote majority. All right, redistribution, or as I like to call it, the politics of envy, is where people that don't have anything don't want to work for it and want to take it from other people. In the past, we used to call that theft. And now it's being done on behest of the government in the form of taxation and redistribution of wealth that way, plus a bunch of other special programs that favor one race or gender above others. You know, that's not sustainable either. You're basically biting the hand that feeds you. And if you bite it too often, the hand's not going to bring food back. And we're seeing that happening. Collectivism, groupthink. People out there since the early 80s in business, you know, and I blame Jack Welch for this, have decided that group decision making is the way to go. But the group will vote for the direction that its leader takes it. And you actually, in groupthink, reject your own individuality and go along to get along. You know, and it's also been shown in study after study after study that a subject matter expert can make better and more informed decisions than a group. Now, a group is better at making decisions on stuff that nobody knows about. So in groupthink, you have a whole bunch of people that know nothing making decisions that are contrary to what a subject matter expert would make. And intersectionality. This is what defines people as, like, say, an Italian American. You are going to put that hyphenate in front of what you actually are. If you go overseas, people are not going to see you as an Italian American. They're going to see you as an American, or an African American, or in my case, a Swiss American. Nobody gives a damn about that other than us. I've been to Switzerland. They don't see me 3 generations removed from Switzerland as a Swiss person. I'd have to re-immigrate to Switzerland. I would have to apply and go through the entire immigration process and not actually be repatriated. All right? What has been replaced is a shared morality. When I was growing up, everybody knew what was right and what was wrong. Rape was wrong, murder was wrong, stealing was wrong. Everybody knew that. Molesting children was wrong. Now, child molesters are called minor attracted people. Well, no, they're pedophiles. They're criminals, and they might actually have some type of mental problem. I don't know. I'm not a psychologist, but it doesn't matter. We also had places to put those people when they showed this type of behavior. They were called mental institutions, but those have all been shut down for the most part. You have to be seriously insane, and I mean seriously insane, to get into a mental institution these days. Just look at all the homeless on the street. Most of those people in the past would have been locked up. They would have had their substance abuse problems, which almost all of them have, taken care of. Whether it's by going cold turkey because they're not allowed to have that stuff, or having some type of treatment, depending on what the substance they were abusing was. People who were schizophrenic, people who, were neurotic, people who were just plain old depressed, used to have a place they could go and get help. They don't have that anymore. We have all kinds of programs to help them, but those programs don't help them and only enrich the people who work in the program. It's pathetic. We've taken what was a good system and turned it into a bad system. All right? People's enterprise. Oh, we forgot individualism. Individualism used to be celebrated. People liked when you had initiative, when you had drive. They liked people who could get things done and did the right thing. Enterprise. After World War II was the highest degree of men and women starting their own businesses. Somebody would have an idea. They'd take their money that they'd saved up over the war, put it into that idea, and they'd start a business. Most of those failed, but a lot of them didn't, and we got a wonderful boost to the economy. Now you hear about people starting business. You're lucky if you can start a restaurant these days. You can't start a car company anymore, not the individual. Henry Ford started out in his garage. You have some guys in the early 80s who started up these, companies like Amazon, started in a garage. Apple Computers started in a garage. You can't do that anymore. You can't. All right? That also comes on to entrepreneurship. It's very difficult for somebody to get the capital to even get a building to work in anymore, let alone start a new business. The prices are out of control because of runaway inflation that has not been recorded. Do you think that you're living in a country that for the last 20 years has had 8% inflation? Oh, no. No, no, no. You've been lied to. And inflation is a tax. It's a tax they don't have to vote on, because the devaluation of the dollar over that same period of time has driven up the cost of money. We've had bank failures where they were too big to fail and they got paid off. But when you, the individual citizen, try to do something like that, you're out on your ear. And then critical thought. Our universities used to be a place where anybody could say anything and they would have debates about it. And at the end of the day, everybody would have a beer and laugh if they had a problem. Nobody got angry. Nobody got canceled. There weren't mobs of students that would come and shout you down. There was nobody with a bullhorn right in your face saying it was political speech when it's really a form of assault. You know, there wasn't a hell of a lot of violence on campus. In the 60s, there was some, but that was all opposed to the war. Now, the violence on campus is to support the woke agenda. If you come at any type of a campus with an opposing idea, you're going to get shut down. They're going to come after you, maybe physically, 100% verbally. They're going to tell lies about you. And the process of critical thought, you have to have the freedom to express your ideas. Censorship abounds. The government didn't used to censor people. They do now. Everybody on YouTube knows this. There are words you can't say. And that's all because, that's censorship. You should be able to say anything you want. Now, what's bad that's been going on because of this woke agenda and the stuff that we no longer can do? The results are our increased divorce rate. The center of Western society and any successful society is the family. Families bring with them stability. They also let people build wealth over time and pass things on to the next generation. That doesn't happen if you divorce and have to divide your assets. It doesn't happen. You cannot build towards the future if you are crushing it in the present. The birth rates are going down. We'll get into the effects of what happens when the birth rate goes down just a little bit later. The marriage rates are going down. Our economy is going to be shrinking. You've already seen the beginning of that. There's a concentration of wealth. The middle class is disappearing, and pretty soon there's going to be the very rich and powerful and everybody else. Social empathy has almost disappeared. If you are not part of one group, part of the intersectionality, you are not going to have empathy to another group in your intersectionality, because you've been told your whole life that if you have an opinion, positive or negative, about something, you shouldn't share it because you're violating somebody else's civil rights or, culturally appropriating or whatever. Your freedoms have gone down. There are so many more laws there than when I was a kid. It's not even funny. When I was a child, a young man, maybe 12 years old, we had three-wheelers. I would strap a .22 rifle to the back of my three-wheeler and go out and shoot rats. They'd pay me a few cents per tail, and I used that money to go to the movies. You get a kid out there now riding around on some type of motorized vehicle with a gun, there's going to be police. The kid might get shot, you know, and people wouldn't think it was a wholesome thing to do to go out and rid the countryside of vermin, because the environmentalists would say, oh, those rats deserve to live in the river. They didn't die off. And equality has decreased. There was actually a point in time in the late 70s through the early 90s where men and women got along, the races got along, and things were looking up. And then guys came along like Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton, and they stirred up the whole racial, oppression angle that's not really real. All the racial oppression we have today, the claims of it, are pretty much BS. Elon Musk published a meme earlier this week that showed the great disparity between racial crime that's out there. Yeah, let's see. But the worst part of it is the divorce rate. Because divorces are just horrible in the family. They lead to poverty for both the men and the women. They lead to mental illness, substance abuse, homelessness, and the children not having any type of guidance. So they go adrift and they fall into all kinds of trouble because their worlds have been shredded by this process. The marriage rate is down because of the broken social contract from feminism. Women, you can do anything you want these days. And that's great. Nobody's saying you can't. But at the same time, men are not getting what they want either. Men are being oppressed. The statistics are very clear that men are treated differently in the criminal justice system. There are virtually no programs for them if they come into some type of a problem. Either socially or economic problems. The suicide rate is nearly it's a little over 3 times the amount. 3 men for every 1 woman commits suicide. After divorce, most women go into poverty, but only 10% of those women actually wind up homeless. And if you're over 55 and a man and you get divorced and you fall into the poverty gap, 88% of the time you will be homeless. So only 12% of the men are getting help, whereas 90% of the women are getting help. Tell me life's fair. Now there's education. Men, boys are being discriminated against in our education system because the education system is set up to have a female positive learning experience. Little boys are different. Little boys have energy. Little boys need their butts kicked when they get out of line. They don't need to be medicated until they're little zombies. And they also need to have hope. There is no hope in the world for a young man to grow up with. Young men don't want to grow up and be part of a collective. Young men want to have their deeds celebrated as individuals. And it's killing us. We aren't having babies, so we have a contracting birth rate. Our birth rate should be above 2, but it's 1.6 in the United States. It's even worse other places. South Korea has a birth rate of 1.28. In less than a generation, South Korea will not be able to even support their elderly, let alone pave their roads. And we're not alone. Canada, India, all of Western Europe, most of Eastern Europe, all have negative birth rates. And that's because women are waiting until their 30s to start having a family. Biologically, that is the absolute backwards way to do it. As a female, you should have your children early and then go into your career when the kids get a little older. If you want to have just 2 kids, that's fine. You're replacing yourself and your spouse or some man somewhere. I'm not even saying you have to have the marriage, but it's better if you do for the children. Maybe it's not better for you as an individual. I don't know. Though that's a case-by-case thing. But most people do not get divorced because they're getting slapped around. They're just unhappy one way or another. Love is an emotion. You're not happy all the time. You're not sad all the time. You're not angry all the time. Why should you think you need to be in love all the time? That's not how people work. But we've forgotten that. And where does it all end? It ends in social, economic, and technological collapse. There's not enough people out there becoming electricians. There's not enough people out there becoming plumbers, welders, mechanics. Everybody wants to be a boss bitch and work in an office and wear a suit. Nobody wants to drive a truck, except me, because it's a great way to save money. I also love working with my hands. I came here this weekend to visit my buddy Ike to learn how to do blacksmithing. I'd never done it before. And I got a fat wallet, so I'm going to pay Ike to teach me this stuff because I'm using his knowledge, I'm using his materials, and I'm using, most importantly, his time. People don't see the necessity to have a fair exchange of goods and currency for the services that they get. Everybody wants something for free. That's not the way it works. We're collapsing. Western society and the modern age is going to come to an end within the next 30 years. First, you'll see a collapse of the major world economies in the form of their currency and banking systems. Then people are not going to be able to have the capital to invest in businesses, and the governments are not going to have the capital to maintain the social services and promises that they have out there. I'm looking at a retirement with the world falling down around my ears. Yeah, scary thought. You younger folks are going to have to live through it and rebuild. Get on your game. The end is near. Bitches.
Might be a little loud. Let's turn that down.
What's up?
Hello.
Yo.
check that real quick. Okay, we're coming in kind of quiet, but
Okay. Fucking A, boys. Scary life out there. Want to get on the panel?
Yeah, we posted the thing. We can post it again because there's been a lot of extra stuff going on.
Anyways, we're coming to you. Yeah, there's no visual right now, but you can look at that lovely Earth cheeseburger.
That was fun to find.
All right. So if anybody wants to get on the panel, talk about what you just watched, that'd be fine. Don't, we'll just shut her down. So link just got posted.
Yep, what, 15 people in the thing? Scott, join us for a minute.
Or Ape or anybody, I don't care. Zombro.
I saw him there for a second.
There we go.
Hey.
We got Outlaw.
Outlaw.
What's up?
Hey, I sent a post in the stream.
Do what now? I couldn't hear you.
I posted a picture for you on my community tab.
Okay. I'll
if
go
you saw
check
that,
that out.
Picture of a bunch of Hooters girls, and one of the Hooters girls was a transvestite.
Oh.
Is that a real thing?
Yeah, it's a real thing.
God.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it is. Well, I came in kind of late, so I didn't get the whole spiel. But from what I could gather, we're talking about the collapse of Western society.
We got Sleepy Canuck in the house. Yeah, that's essentially what it was. It was essentially the collapse of society.
What's driving it?
Yeah.
About how everything we're doing these days is the exact opposite of what we should be doing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Clown world, backwards land. Night, Grinch.
Yeah, later, Grinch.
Yeah, we are. We're spiraling out of control as a nation. That's for sure.
Well, it's more than just a nation. It's actually a worldwide problem. There's only one continent these days that has a greater than replacement rate of birth.
Mm-hmm.
That's Africa.
Yeah.
Only place that we're going to see any growth in the next few years. And that's only because they haven't gotten woke yet. They will.
Yep.
Hey.
Sorry, Royale.
It's a Royal with cheese.
You know, because of the metric system.
God damn it.
Oh, man.
God damn it.
Well,
Nice little lesson there, Brandon.
Thank you.
Uh-oh, Timmy dropped out.
You lost Timmy. No.
He must have gone to sleep. Although he went to sleep on my stream a few days back, and he was.
I think I've heard him snoring on Chaos's streams before.
You guys' audio is like fading in and out for me.
Well, I was just messing with the audio knobs on my soundboard.
Yeah.
The knob dicker.
Is it still fading? Is it still fading in and out?
Nah, you sound good on my end.
Yeah, you sound all right now.
Hey, Hemi woke up.
Yeah, I was messing with. I was trying to get us our
Hemi,
levels even.
You're muted.
Probably because he's asleep.
Those Canadians really snore because of that flip top head.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Mike messing with the knobs.
So, did you make a knife today, Brandon?
I did not.
I'm gonna give him one of mine that I've made, and he's just gonna say he made it.
Man, that's like a participation trophy.
I'll give him one of my shittier ones too.
Yeah, that way nobody will know.
But at least he has Hemi's cock ring.
Yeah, I got
Oh,
a cock
man.
ring for Hemi. Hey, and
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, oh,
that was a
That was
real one. That
bomb.
wasn't. I didn't fake that
That
one.
was actually real. Holy fuck. Oh, Jesus. It smells bad.
Of course, it smells bad.
We had that shitty bar food earlier.
Ooh.
Oh, God. Oh, my God. Why?
What's up, K-Plan? Hey, how
I'm
you
going to have to
doing,
leave
brother?
for a minute. I'm going to turn the fan back on.
Oh.
Yeah, Chrome Dome says that sounded really moist.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh
good.
yeah.
Oh,
Jeez.
finally. I had some problems. Excellent lecture, Professor. Felt like I was, felt like I was back in high school again.
Yeah, I did too.
You should.
I hope it made sense. You know?
It sure did.
Yeah.
So I was telling him while I was playing that I'm gonna take one of the scenes where he's standing in front of the whiteboard, and I'm gonna remove all of the stuff from the whiteboard so people can put like dicks or something on there.
And take the
Oh.
picture, freeze the picture right when he's pointing at it with that little stick.
That's what I was thinking about doing. I was gonna set it up so I could use it as my thumbnail for my podcast next week. And I was gonna create it, and then I was gonna just post it on like Shinobi's server and a bunch of other places so other people can use it.
That'll be great.
I'm gonna start using that as my thumbnail for every week.
Hey,
What's up?
if you could make a sound clip with him pointing at that board and then cutting that fart.
No, it stinks so bad. I'm getting sick of it.
I guess who's here?
Oh.
Cake feed himself.
Scotty. What is that picture, Scotty?
It's an angry Scotty.
That's me.
Echo.
what is that face?
Oh, people can't
Scotty
see him
just-
on the screen.
Scotty just smelled that fart.
Yeah, Scotty can smell it too.
Smell all the way from Beaverton in here.
Oh.
No, it's okay. I inducted Brandon into the Only Smiths, so I gave him one of my Only Smiths stickers.
Oh,
Ooh.
nice.
Well, you should. He's got some money in his right front pocket, Ike. You could roll him. You could bum rush him.
I don't think I need to because he already gave me most of that. No, I shouldn't have mentioned. We don't talk about exchange of money between gentlemen.
No.
I paid for my schooling. That's all it was.
An intro class is like if you go to the website, it's anvilacademy.net. You can go and see our prices. I think an intro to blacksmithing class is $150.
Did you say Anal Academy?
Sure. David Smith, I'm getting you your fucking sticker. If you were here this weekend, I would have given it. I would have handed it directly to you.
Oh man.
Ike, I'll just get my sticker in person.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, I still wish I had mine.
Yeah, I got to make you one too. I'll just make you the outlaw logo. I can't do the girl.
No, that's all right. Yeah, perfect.
So what you been up to, Scotty?
Scotty's been up to muting himself and just coming on and grimacing.
Mutiny. That's what I call it.
Like an honorary Canuck.
What? He unmuted himself just to say what?
Well, guys.
Scott's got like a weird echo thing going on.
Scott's not even talking.
No,
I'm
but
I'm on my phone and I can't get my earbuds to work. So I'm just.
Yeah, that's what I was having problems with too.
well, we are getting blasted by some weather from the sun. It was hitting tonight, so
Oh, man.
maybe you're having technical difficulties thanks to that big gas bag out there in space.
Are you
That
talking
must be
about True Blood's ass or?
Oh, that's a gas bag on the planet.
Yeah, I got more displacement than Hamster's motorcycle.
Ooh.
The way that sounded, you would have shot a hamster right out of your bunghole.
Yeah, he'd have reached gate velocity.
That hamster was eyeing your ass crack on his stream.
Yeah, he had crack envy.
Uh-oh.
Hamsters love a good crack, right? They're drawn to it.
I like how Hamster kept saying I was going to show crack, but I was wearing proper attire. Also, I've done blacksmithing streams before, and I know the angles and how to bend down without doing that kind of shit.
And you really don't want your ass crack hanging out when you're pounding on hot metal and a piece of slag or scale can come off and land down your ass crack.
That's also true.
I was looking forward to it.
It'll be the most active he's gotten in years. Sorry. That was bad.
Well, gentlemen, got anything to add to what my main topic for the coming collapse?
I personally, it doesn't hurt my feelings to see David's Bridal go out of business and all of the jewelry store chains that are going bankrupt. They've made hundreds of millions of dollars off of men's sorrow and unhappiness, just future. Yeah. They didn't know it until they were until after they bought the shit.
Well, I agree with you, Ape, but I won't think that we see progress until the horse lawyers have to start chasing.
You cut out.
I want to see the lawyers fucking go out of business too.
Yeah.
Yeah. See all the divorce lawyers turn into ambulance chasers.
Exactly what he said.
All right. Well, if you guys don't have anything else to add, I'm going to call it a night.
Yeah, he's got to drive back into the Portland area.
Oh boy, he's gonna have fun.
Don't worry, you didn't see it yesterday, but we affixed a cow catcher to the front of his truck, so we can just mow down those Antifa guys in Minecraft.
Oh, nice. Oh, right. Allegedly.
In Minecraft.
Did you put a big green goblin mask on the front?
I plucked the barbed wire so I can collect body parts while I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Nice. You can feed the coyotes on your journey.
I think so.
All right. So remember, no marriage, no cohabitation, no kids, and no audio from Scott or Hemi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See you guys.
See you guys
later.